Divorce can feel like waking up in a nightmare. One day you're in shock, refusing to believe that this is real. And then the next, you're learning how to breathe again. So today, I want to share with you how you can gently shift from denial to acceptance in your divorce journey without forcing yourself or rushing the process. And so, if you are new to me or to the channel, hello and welcome. My name is Katrice. I am the Natal Chart Navigator and I'm an intuitive astrologer. And I teach newly divorced women how to use their natal charts to heal and move through the 6 stages of divorce easier and with more grace. And for those navigators who are returning back, hello and welcome back. All right, and so let's jump into it. All right, now if you're in the middle of a divorce or if you're newly divorced, you may be feeling stuck or in denial, saying this can't be happening, or I can't believe this happened. I can't believe that I'm divorced. Okay? And acceptance of your new reality, it may feel like it's a million miles away. You may be like, I don't know how I'm going to accept this. I can't believe, this happened to me, right? So let's talk about what this shift really looks like step by step, okay? So first things first, you want to understand why the denial comes, okay? So denial is a natural protection mechanism, and it shields us from the full weight of grief all at once, okay? So it can often show up as, well, maybe we'll get back together, or this is just temporary, okay? Especially if, before the divorce proceedings start, and, you just first decide about the divorce. You may decide, well, let's just separate and, try to work through it. To see if you can avoid the inevitable, right? And so, but really all this does when you do that, it avoids conversations about the divorce, okay? So first off, don't judge yourself for being in denial, okay? Because nobody gets married to get divorced, okay? When you get married, you think that it's going to be forever, right? And that no matter what you go through, you'll be able to work through things, and you give chance after chance. But then sometimes you realize that it's just not what it is, right? So don't judge yourself for being in denial. Honor it as your mind's way of saying, I need time to process what is really happening here, okay? Now, I want to talk about why acceptance of divorce can feel so far away, okay? Because it's not a switch that you just flip and like, oh, okay, I accept this now, okay, right? It's a gradual opening. So it's like, how when you have the blinds and you're turning the blinds and the light is, the blinds are opening slowly and the light is, flowing into the room slowly. It's like that. And, it could be a fear that you have of, if I accept that I'm actually getting divorced, or if I accept that I'm divorced, that means that I failed. Or it could mean, if you're in the process, if you're just beginning, that, if I accept this, that means I'll lose everything that I've built. I'll lose my family, I'll lose my home, I'll lose everything, the years that we put into this. But acceptance doesn't erase your past. It doesn't erase what you've built. It doesn't erase what you've had. It doesn't erase the love that you once shared. But it gives you back your power in the present. Okay? Because denial forces you to, denial, it keeps you from facing what is. And so when you are afraid of facing what is, then you're not in control. And so when you accept what is, you're back in control. Okay? And so here are a few gentle shifts that you can make. Well, before I get into that, before I get into the shifts, I want to talk about what acceptance really means, okay? Because acceptance puts you back in power, okay? And so when you accept the divorce, it isn't saying that you're okay with it, but it is saying, you know what? It is what it is, and I'm okay to move forward. I'm ready to move forward, right? And so it's the difference between being stuck in what was and opening yourself up to what can be, okay? And acceptance gives you back clarity, energy, and the space to rebuild your confidence, your finances, and your sense of self, okay? And even though I don't talk about it a lot, finances a lot here on this channel, on my other channel I talk about how divorce, really rocks your finances. But divorce really does take a toll on every area of your life. And so when you accept what is, then you put yourself in a position to be able to now say, okay, this is what it is. What do I want to do? How do I maneuver moving forward? Okay. So here are some gentle shifts that you can make to help you to shift from denial and from closing yourself off and not wanting to face what is to accepting it. Okay. So the first one is to practice awareness. Okay. So instead of saying this isn't real or I can't believe this is happening, try this is hard, but I'm learning to face it. I'm not happy with what's going on, but I accept it. Okay? Because you don't have to be happy with it. It's just when you accept it, it's like it is what it is. Then it helps you to be able to deal with it. Okay. Another tip for this is some grounding rituals. So journaling, meditation, breath work, or even walking in nature can help to bring you back into your body when your mind wants to escape. Walking for me was so key. It really helped me, walking and going to the park, because I would take my little one to the park a lot, just to try to keep some normalcy for her, and so going to the park became really big for us, and it really helped me to be able to accept where my life was, and it also helped me to just have a clear space to kind of figure out my next steps and moving forward. Okay. The next tip is micro acceptances. Okay. So allow yourself to accept one small fact at a time. Okay. So for example, you could just be like, yes, we live in separate homes now. Okay. Now that may be easy for you to accept because you may not want to be in the same home with them anymore. You may want to, you may still be kind of like not fully have accepted that, you're actually divorced or you're actually going through a divorce. But you accept the fact that, okay, we're not living together anymore. That kind of makes it real. Or you may say, yes, I am rebuilding my life, or yes, I'm single. That one may be a little hard to accept, especially depending, like if you were married, for say 5-10 years or more. That one may be a little hard to accept, but it's just accepting little bits and pieces along the way instead of trying to accept it all at once. May be easier for you to digest, okay? And then the last thing is support circles, okay? So therapy, coaching, community support groups. If you have family that you're really close with that can, help you and support you at this time. My sister cousin, she's my cousin, but we grew up as sisters. She was like really key and instrumental in helping me, supporting me during my divorce recovery. Like, I will forever be grateful for her and her support. And a lot of times it was just, I would just call her and cry on the phone, and she never would be like, why are you calling me crying? Or it's like she would literally just sit there and just listen to me, like, and sometimes she would ask me, do you want me to say anything? Do you need me to like say anything or give advice, or do you just want me to listen? And so, support circles are really important and can help you with the accepting and the processing of what's going on, because they remind you that you're not alone, okay? Which can make the shift softer and easier for you, okay? Also you want to look into your fourth house, okay? Because divorce really rocks your home. And so look at your fourth house energy. You can tap into your fourth house energy in your natal chart. That can show you and help you to see how you can really use that energy to help you to start to rebuild your emotional core, okay? Everybody, and this is another reason why some people can, they can move on quickly versus other people it might take a longer, really just depending on the energy that you have on your fourth house, okay? Because the fourth house is your emotional core. It's your home, your family, the family you come from, but also the family that you create as well. And so, if you have Scorpio on the fourth house, Scorpio energy, it's deep, energetic bonds, right? So it may take you longer to heal and process after a divorce versus somebody who has Aries on the fourth house, okay? And then any planets that you have in that house also add to how you process and things as well, okay? So you definitely want to tap into your fourth house, but just be gentle with yourself, okay? Be gentle with yourself and don't beat yourself up if you feel like it's taking you a long time for you to accept that you're divorced, right? It took me a minute to, even though I knew deep down, I knew inevitably that we were going to get a divorce. But I did the whole, let's separate for a year and let's, try to work on, us and da-da-da-da-da. And at the end of the day, I had to realize that I was really the only one trying to save the marriage. And so I had to just let it go. I had to accept that this is what it is. And I had to be at peace with that. Be at peace that I'm divorced, or I'm getting divorced, and through the proceedings, and it hurt, because I'd never thought, like, I was a big, like, on once I get married, that's it, and we're gonna have to work through it, and da 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 da, and that only works if both people want to work through it. If only one person is trying to work and the other one isn't, at some point you just have to face the inevitable that, it is what it is, right? So don't beat yourself up for that. Don't beat yourself up if you tried to save your marriage and it didn't, and it still ended up in divorce. Because you did what you thought you needed to do within that moment, right? And so everything works out the way it's supposed to. At least that's my belief. And so you just have to keep moving forward, right? So, denial and acceptance are not enemies. They are both a part of the same healing path. And so the shift happens little by little with compassion and patience, okay? And so if you are walking through this, if you are in this space right now of denial and you haven't fully accepted your divorce, know that acceptance will come, okay? And when it does, it will bring you peace, clarity, and freedom, okay? So you do have that to look forward to, okay? And so that's what I have for you in this video. And so if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching and allowing this conversation, allowing this topic to pour into you. Now, even if only one part of this video helped you to reframe your journey, know that healing has already begun. And my intention is to help you to navigate your divorce recovery with more clarity, grace, and ease, okay? Now, if this video resonated with you and if it helped you to feel seen, validated, or even a little lighter, then give it a like and share it out with another divorcee that could use some guidance and community while navigating her recovery. Also, drop a comment below. I'd love to know how you are navigating accepting your divorce, okay? Now, if you want to continue to learn how you can use a natal astrology healing method for your divorce recovery and become a part of the Understanding You University Navigators community, then make sure that you subscribe and click the bell so that you get notified when I upload new content to the channel, okay? And don't forget to check the description box for additional tools and resources such as my ebook, From Breakup to Brilliance, the Natal Astrology Healing Method, or if you would like to book an energetic calibration reading if you want more guidance outside of the content that I provide on the channel, okay? And so until next time, remember that divorce is not your ending. It is your initiation into the most powerful version of you, okay? Have a good one. I will see you in the next video.